And welcome here to the first of our hay and forage product report display, and we'll go over some features. I'm Jeremy, I'm the product line manager, managed marketing department out of Tumble, Iowa. With me today is Luis Fernandez, our senior marketing rep, covering some of our baling products while we're here. Our plan for about 10 minutes to have you here. We're going to go over a few features with you, just some high level why we're doing the LSB and where it's at, or large square baler. Luis will then take us out to the machine, get us around it, let you guys see some of the hard iron, and ask any questions that you might have. Sound good? Perfect. So the large square balers that you see outside the tent here behind us were developed for primarily three target customer segments: livestock, dairy, and commercial hay producers. The rationale behind those three in particular are that our livestock segment needs a large square bale in order to handle feed rationing, to make sure and handle the logistics associated with getting that feed to where the cows need it, and to also produce the highest quality feed available, produce the best output, the beef that we all get on our table, right? The dairy segment is the same, with a little bit more emphasis put on that ration, making sure that the best feed going in produces the best milk coming out. And our commercial hay producers do it for a multitude of reasons, either to sell that hay, maybe to the neighbor down the road, or a smaller dairy that can't afford to buy one of these on their own, or to put in a container and ship to Asia, something like that, so that we can actually help a growing global economy where maybe the mechanization is not quite there yet, or the arable land is not suitable to grow high-value crops like alfalfa. Okay? So those three customer segments in mind help us to produce the product that you see behind us. Now what you'll see here, we actually have two models, an L330 and L340. Behind that L330, the L, if you just saw it on the list, would remind you maybe that this is a large square baler. The 3 and the 3 and the 330 will tell you that makes a 3 foot by 3 foot bale, approximately. And the 340 makes a 3 by 4 bale. And the 0 is the series that we're in right now. The very first machine, the initial one's out there. So with the 0 series, we're just getting started. So you see an L330 and L340 behind us. They come in two configurations. The first configuration is a standard rotor, which Luis will show us here in just a little bit. The second configuration is a pre-cutter. Remember just a moment ago I was talking about high quality hay? A pre-cutter helps you to size that material, which helps the cow, horse, sheep, or goat actually digest that food just a little bit better. Okay? Makes sense to everybody? We still good? Wonderful. If you will, Luis is going to take us right out here. We'd like to have you guys join us around the equipment if we can.
The gull wing design that we have and the functional styling. Closed, it's a very sleek system. When it's open, it has a lot of access to all of the machine components. It makes it easy to maintain. It's very easy to service the machine. We have a different feed rotor system. A lot of the competition, some of the guys, they have a converging auger in the feed rotors. Those are right behind the pickup here to push the hay into the pre-compression chamber. They have two systems there. We have a single shaft, so that's going to reduce the amount of wear components that customers are going to have when using that machine. Then we also have our time components, our gear and shaft driven. Some of the competition, they use chain drives. Over time, chain will stretch. And we have a lot of moving parts in here with the plunger, needle arms coming up, and a knotter system that all need to be in correct time. If those get off time, then you have a major malfunction on the machine and very long amount of downtime. We also have a single row of twine boxes. On some of the other large square balers, you'll see double or even triple row. This is a very ergonomic design, and it leaves a walk platform that gives you significant access to the machine, which also makes it easier to maintain. If you look over here, I'll show you the pre-cutter system. Oops, sorry. So on this pre-cutter, the L340 pre-cutter system, it has the knife tray that comes out. This makes it very easy to service. There's 23 knives on this machine, and you can engage half of the knives, or 11, 23 doesn't really have the exact half, 11 knives or 12 knives at any one time. What that allows you to do is if you have 11 knives engaged, you always have a set of knives that aren't being used and that remain sharp. So when you start to get the dull knives and the horsepower requirements go up, you can switch those over and take out a set of knives and go sharpen those while still staying in the field and running at the same time. Also, we have here on this diagram, this is our pre-compression chamber. Part of what we're doing when we're ensuring a consistent density on the machine is that we have the packer stuffer system that pushes flakes, and it has a mechanical arm that allows it to maintain a certain density before it's going to push a flake up and start making that bale. Real quick here on the knotter systems, I'll show you guys. This knotter system is one of the most important parts of the large square baler. We got to make sure that we maintain the shape of the bale over time. And large square bales, they get moved a lot and transported from the field to a storage location and finally to the end user. So this double tie knotter system allows, it has, the way the system works is it will tie off one bale that you just made, and then it will start the tying sequence on the second bale. So what this allows is for you to make a higher dense bale, because this knotter system isn't trying to hold the twine while the hay is getting pushed through. The knot itself is doing that. There's also some significant features that we've done with this knotter system that has been Deere designed. One of these is the grease lube bank here. We've reduced the amount of lube line versus the competition on the 340 machine by over 83 feet, just by using this grease bank and doing our lubing system internally. We also have some easy adjustments, and this system, if there is a problem with the knotter, you can take it apart without having to pull out an entire shaft like you need to do on some of the other machines where you need to service a knotter. Another thing that we have for our knotter systems is a lot of the other LSBs, or all the other competition, they have a mechanical knotter flag on the back of the baler. So if you have an east-west running field, the sun rising east and setting in the west, at some point during the day when you're baling, you're staring into the sun, looking at the knotter flag to make sure that you actually got a knot and you didn't have a mistie. Our system is electrical, so in the cab, the operator is able to see without having to look back. He gets true look-ahead baling when making those knots. Jeremy?
Perfect. So, you got a quick one over the large square baler and the two models that we have. Lewis did a nice job hitting some of the highlights and features. When we talk about those three customer groups, we really focus in on performance, uptime, and cost of operation. You might see some window dressings around with that. And as we do, each one of those items is designed with that in mind. Okay? Whether that be easy to service, whether it be performance to get more bales done and more tons per hour, or if it means improved uptime, meaning that the machine's ready to run the field at a moment's notice. So, this is our L340 and L330, our large square baler class. You can see a whole load of hay here behind you. This is what we make with these bales so that we can all have great food tonight. Are there any questions?